who's back again for a KYW Encore.
This is Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast. Episode -025, Fields of People.
Wildflowers grow everywhere, vibrations flow, things will have to change. Good evening, madam. It's a recording. Yes. Strange new ideas fill the air. Some people leave, others grieve. Some will bear, but things will change. And the wildflowers grow out of fields. Fields of people. There's no such thing as a weed.
What's that song all about?
Fields of People is the fourth track on the Move's second studio album Shazam, released on February 27th, 1970, first track on side 2. It was originally recorded by Ars Nova and released on their first album in April 1968. Ars released it as a single in September that year. Ars Nova was an American group who recorded one album in 1968, split up, got back together, recorded a second album the next year, and broke up again. In the November of 1981 issue of Trouser Press, Roy Wood said,
I suppose the band now got a bit more acceptable. Trevor had been a bit outrageous on stage, and Rick was more of the John Entwistle type, just standing there being the bass man. Then I got a bit scruffy because I was kicking at the new manager who had us doing cabaret gigs.
Silent breed is people!
I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
I'm Eric Winsenson.
And Fields of People, where I grow and harvest only the finest people and humanely slaughter them for fine Soylent Green products.
Ooh, ich. Even better is the Motel Hell tagline. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent fritters.
Yes, as long as you don't plant seeds of hate, you'll get a nice crop of people.
Yep.
10 minutes, 44 seconds. This is the longest song on the album. And, like I said last week, oh boy, a long song. I went in scared, but as soon as it started after the count-in, I was, hey, I like this. This is pretty good. This is bouncy. It's catchy. I'm picturing Ian Anderson in a knave outfit with tights and little leather shoes with curly toes at the end, prancing through a field playing his little flute to a happy, perky little song. As long as they keep this up for 10 minutes, 44 seconds, I can be all in on this. And they did a pretty good job. I liked it, and I had nothing bad to say about this song until the 6-minute mark, where the main song fades out, and then it fades into this electric guitar kind of thing, which I'm going to compare to, like, I've never done it, I've only seen video, I've heard stories. What might an acid trip be like? Because it starts off slow, and then it builds, and then it's at a point where the drugs kick in, and I'm just picturing some hippie chick at a Grateful Dead concert who starts in with the slow swaying, and then just jumping and bouncing and flailing all around topless until finally she wears herself out and crashes to the ground in the mud. One of my beef with long songs is at some point it wears out its welcome, or it's filled with needless meat byproducts and other assorted fillers, just to pad it out for 10 minutes 44 seconds. And that last 4 minutes with that guitar freak out, that was the needless part of the song I could have done without. There was no reason for it. Could have cut it off at the 5 or 6 minute mark and moved on, and everything would have been great. But you had to tag on that part. You know, if they had edited this down like a single edit, then it would have been a nice tight song and it would have been good. Which is exactly what I did, and you can hear that on our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel.
So you took a perfectly good song and butchered it.
No.
Like you're a radio exec.
No, I did.
Or a label exec.
No, I did not do what they did to Roll Over Beethoven or Roundabout. It's actually a smooth edit. You can't even tell unless you've heard the original version and you know where it should be longer.
Please don't remind me of what they did to Roundabout.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you up until about the 6th minute and something mark.
Yeah.
I'm good with the whole thing, other than the fact that it's not their song. But there's going to be a button here. A very big one. Not as big as it used to be because I lost a crap load of weight this year. What I liked at the very beginning, after the countdown, is it starts in with the song and it goes, "Hey, I'm recording here."
Yeah.
I'm going, hey, I'm going to like this. You hear me complain so many times about when things get silly and how I don't like really silly stuff. There's silly stuff that I like, especially when it just is right out of nowhere. Hey, we're recording this. And if you're a Monkees fan,
right,
you know.
Yeah. No, I get it now. Yeah.
7A.
What number is this?
7A.
What number is this, Chip?
7A.
Okay, no, I mean, don't get excited, man. It's because I'm short, I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of Daydream Believer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this reminded me of. See? I can come back to a point.
Yeah.
This is what this reminded me of a little bit was Daydream Believer. And I've always loved that opening to Daydream Believer. I know it's kind of fake. This might be too. I don't care. It's fun. It lends some fun to this. Then we got Bevan there again, drumming his life away. Just doing what he does so well that we never got to hear again after the move, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except on 1 or 2 songs, until he got to Sabbath. And goes into the song, and it's a nice, bouncy song. I just love how this thing is produced. When it comes in with the chorus, and all of a sudden it's got that group singing, but it's kind of faded down in the back a little bit, so there's some dynamic there between the guitars and the drums and the vocals. And I know it's hippy-dippy lyrics, but I don't mind. I think they knew it too, and that's why they're having fun with it, and they're kind of goofing off throughout the whole song. They obviously like the original, and they're doing a tribute to it, and it was quite entertaining. And then at the end, where the actual song ends, then the group gets to improvise a little bit and do their little freak-out thing, even though it doesn't feel like an acid trip to me, because it feels very structured still.
Yeah, I got two minds on the goofy parts of the song.
There's a bloke out here looking for the band.
It made me laugh, and I did like the unprofessional humor of it. And then there was kind of like, well, that's not really very professional. So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
It's not fart noises, though.
No, thank God for that. So I was kind of like, I like it. I'm not sure it belongs here, but I like it. I definitely think it's something you put on an album version, since they didn't release it as a single. But I did, which you can hear over at the Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel.
Got something to say about Fields of People? Well, call the telephone line voicemail.
623-850-3375. Call now.
And now, back to Face the Music.
Yeah, these lyrics. It was not written by The Move. It was recorded by
Ars Nova.
Ars Nova, okay. Not Arm Darvin, the
No.
undercover Klingon in trouble with tribbles.
Wildflowers grow everywhere, vibrations flow, things will have to change. Strange new ideas fill the air, some people leave, others grieve, some will bear and things will change.
Yeah, these are pretty hippy-dippy lyrics. The chorus, fields of people, there's no such thing as a weed. Seeds of hatred, plant them, and soon they will feed. Wow, man. That's really
deep.
I need the bong back.
There's no such thing as a weed.
I'm
I'm not going to get too deep into it, but we need to do some gardening in November.
Yes, we do. Yes, I know in the 60s it's all about, hey man, we're all good. We just need to work at being good together. And as much as a bit of a hippie as I am, there's some of that hippy-dippy stuff from the 60s that I'm like, oh, come on, man, don't be an idiot. There are weeds. You're going to tell me that Hitler, he just needed a hug every now and then? Osama bin Laden, if someone just took the time to listen to him, maybe he wouldn't have blowed up the World Trade Centers twice.
Mm-hmm.
No, some people are weeds.
And they need to be plucked.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, as for that Ars Nova original version.
Ars Nova.
Ars Nova. Well, there's a reason why the name of the group is not going to stick in my head, because I'm not going to be listening to the song after I'm done with this. Not their version, anyway.
Yeah, Move version I could listen to quite a bit.
But that original version, no. I like the horns part of it. And that usually only came up in the chorus, the last bit of the song. And by the last bit, I mean before the fade out. And then it goes into just a horns thing at the end for like a minute.
Now you're talking about a useless minute spent.
Yeah.
That didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
I think the Move version, that's 4 minutes of good guitar playing, good musicianship.
I will give it that, yeah.
The Ars Nova version, even at 3.5 minutes overstays its welcome.
That guy's voice. In a way, it kind of reminds me of Dave Pritchard. At least Dave Pritchard on that second Idle Race album. The voice on this guy, he's all, fields of people, there's no such thing as a weed. Oh, seeds of hatred.
And the wildflowers grow out of fields.
And
I know, I can tell that he thinks that he is singing the deepest lyrics ever.
Yes.
That he has come up with a song that is going to bring the world together in a great big hug with a bottle of Coke. We're all going to smoke the communal bong.
Yes, it's come on people, smile around your brother, everybody get together. This is his contribution.
We're all
going
to get cold sores from that communal bong. And
yes. And then in about 20 years, we're going to give up and start voting Republican and cut our hair. And the Move one is superior. And thank you once again for not just copying it like you did with the remakes on that first album. You took the song and you made it your own, and you made it a billion times better.
Much better.
Yes.
Much, much better. You're right. The only good thing about the original, production's not bad, but it's the horns. Except at the end of it, where they bring the horns back for no reason whatsoever. They don't do anything with it. They just go blat, 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 blat. Instead of doing something creative.
Yeah, the horns in the background kind of reminded me of the horns in the background for, again, Daydream Believer.
Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean?
Yeah, we started talking about this band Ars Nova after I just looked them up to just check to see if this was a Roy Wood song that you wrote for them. Which it's not, unfortunately. But yeah, after I checked to see who they were, I really couldn't give a crap about finding out too much more about them.
Well, I don't think they gave much of a crap. They recorded an album, broke up, got back together, recorded a second album, broke up.
But at least next week, it's Brill Building time.
Oh, hey, this is Dr. Troy calling with my thoughts on Fields of People. Fields of People, my first thought is, I'm wondering if Roy Wood knew Jeffrey Dahmer. But now getting serious for a moment, I think that paints a very good picture, Fields of People. And maybe if we would see our fellow human beings as persons who need to be nurtured and cultivated and helped to grow, and if we would care for our fellow human beings the way a farmer cares for his crops, or a gardener cares for a garden, then maybe we would begin to see the change that we desire. Well, just a thought anyway. Talk to you next time.
Get a haircut, hippie.
Face the Music, a pre-ELO song-by-song podcast, is a production of Radio Trolla Entertainment, Assorted Deli Meats Amalgamated. You can contact us by voicemail at 623-850 888-848-3375 or email us at eloftmpodcast@gmail.com and we'll read and reply to it on the show. Keep up to date by joining our Facebook group and spread the word by sharing the link or giving us a quick rating on iTunes. Subscribe to our YouTube page, the Electric Light Orchestra Podcast channel, to hear other goodies. You can financially support the podcast at patreon.com/ELOpod or PayPal using the podcast's email address, or send a check or money order to P.O. Box 1932, Superior, Arizona 85173. Next episode, -024. Don't make my baby blue.